He looks either like he owns the tent or lives in the tent. There's no in between. There's nothing in between that he has.
Are we rolling yet?
Yeah. We're not doing an intro?
No, we don't do intros here.
Oh, we just start.
The intro is we got our friend Michelle Tomko here. Michelle.
Okay. Hi, everybody out there.
Our first ever guest. Look at this.
First guest.
First. Yeah.
When you're famous and stuff, I'm gonna be the first guest.
Wow.
First
when
guest.
Steve's famous.
I'm famous. See that?
I think.
Bull breaking number one.
I think like Johnny Carson, the first guest was. Who was like Dolly Parton or something like that? So that's
I wasn't alive.
That's gonna be me, right? You weren't alive yet.
Yeah, so we film in the Atlantic City area. Michelle lives in the area, and she's very well known in the area. I think you won 2 awards in the Atlantic City Weekly, was it?
Right. So Atlantic City Weekly does Nightlife Awards every year, and I've won the past 5 years in a row.
Wow.
Yes, it's a voting thing, so you can vote every day for me. So. Shout
great.
out to all my retired friends that voted every day.
And how we met Michelle. Well, I worked with her last week. We were on a show together at the Tropicana in Atlantic City. I've been performing every Monday night there, and Michelle hosted. And she said she was in the area. I was like, "We're taping soon. Why don't you come out for an episode?" I know you'll remember Mike.
Yeah, we met at a tent.
A tent show.
It is.
we were at a
I've
tent
run away
show.
and joined the circus since the pandemic.
But Michelle's a comic that is adjusting in the times we're living in. She started a show on Wednesday nights at the High Point Pub in the parking lot.
It is. I'm in the parking lot in a tent. It's heated.
And it's always packed.
Heated.
It is always packed. It's really good. I was a little nervous at first. I didn't know what was happening. He was taking me. I was like, it's a white tent. I started thinking white hoodies. And I got nervous. I said, Steve, you go in first. And if I see you safe, I'll come in next. And
it is a little intimidating. It's a little intimidating.
But
it
you
was
got
a great
like
show.
regulars.
It does look like one of those hunting clubs up in like Vineland area. You drive by, there's like a tent set
I was expecting
up.
fatigue and shotguns. That's what I thought was coming in.
So you know what's
It's a little
funny?
weird.
When we did it in the summer, when we did your I'm going to call it the tent show in the summer.
Show, yeah.
I remember you saying to me in August, you're like, I don't know how much longer they're going to keep doing this. And like, here we are in January.
Yeah.
And they're like all about it.
We
Shout
love
out
it.
to the High Point Pub. They're like,
The High Point owners are so nice, and they're so nice to me. And like every week, I feel like they're just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, her ears are burning. A text just came through.
the owner?
The owner of the High Point just texted me.
awesome.
Her ears are burning. So High Point masks are in, she said.
Oh, okay.
So I got new merch to hawk now. But they're so nice to me. And every week I'm like, we don't have, no harm, no foul. If you want to wait until spring. And they're like, no, we love it. We love it.
And then has you like, you do?
They didn't even cancel it. The last time there was a nor'easter, there was like 3 Wednesdays ago, there was a nor'easter, and I just assumed we weren't having it. But they never called me to cancel it. So it's 3 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, and I'm like, well, I better just like be like a professional and let me just confirm we're not doing it. And they're like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And it was literally like a nor'easter, and I'm like, okay. And I like went and set up everything, and the tent's like,
As long as the tent
Wait.
waits
And you guys did the show.
the open
in the
mics
hurricane. Wow. As long as the tent's there, we don't care. You're outside, not us. Go if you can do
all
it.
the other tents have since closed down. Like all the other Absec and Galloway tents
Last
have all
tent
packed
standing.
it. We're the last tent standing.
How
Mike.
sad is this that this is our passion? Listen to what we're saying right now. My tent is better than
It literally is. It
my
literally
tent
is.
show.
Like every time, they would come in and go, such and such just took their tent down. That's so good for us. And we're like celebrating every potential restaurant that's going to go out of business in the Atlantic County
we
area.
really are the bugs of the show business.
Yeah.
Listen to what we're saying right now.
Yeah.
I don't mean any disrespect. I love it. I'm just saying in general, it's crazy how
I do. She's the tent queen.
No,
You don't put
that's
up a tent
I am.
unless you ask her if there's a tent
I'm
area.
just- it's
I've really
crazy.
made a niche market for myself. I'm
That's
the
right.
tent person now.
it's just crazy how I think it's remarkable how you're providing a consistent comedy venue in the area.
Well, I actually thought it was important to support that particular place because they did something cool. They just like I had done a few comedy shows there. Just we did like Valentine's Day. We just did a regular show, dinner show, and they had me in when the pandemic first started, and they said, why don't you just come out and stand in the parking lot and just make fun of people as they come in to get their takeout food.
Oh my God, I died for that job.
They had me come in and they had me do that just as like a little publicity thing. And they were just always thinking of ways to just use me. And the thing about the High Point is they never, ever closed down this whole pandemic. And they lost probably so much money at the beginning because they were letting you get the bar specials. You know, they do 50-cent wings. They were letting people take those out. So like, you know, jack-offs would come like try to throw their kids' graduation party and order like 200 wings, you know, and just kill them. And like the kitchen would be getting backed out, but they just wanted to just stay open and keep their employees working and just kind of be kind of like a community place. And when everybody else was closed, like, you know, I mean, they didn't do anything illegal. It wasn't a speakeasy. I meant when they were allowed to be open,
they stayed open. They
opened the minute it was allowed. They stay, you know, open till 10 o'clock. The tent stays open till 2 a.m. So all the Stockton University kids and stuff go hang at like 1 o'clock in the morning in the parking lot there. So I just thought it was like a cool group to do. But
that's the other thing, the crowd.
Oh my God.
The crowd that she gets. I know you haven't been there since the summer.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's near a college campus. So it's very weird how like the show starts at 8 o'clock, but the crowd really don't get there till like 9.
Yeah.
And they're like rowdy.
When I went, it was a lot of rowdy old people. I saw old people first. I was like,
yeah,
maybe I need to switch up some stuff. But the conversations I heard while I was there, I was like, oh, this material will go very well here.
Oh, yeah.
Very well.
Just say whatever, yeah.
And then they left, and then the college kids came right after that. It was like...
Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. I mean, it's kind of like doing comedy in the subway sometimes, and then sometimes people are sitting and watching. So
which
you just
is
don't know
a
what you're
thing
gonna
right now in 2021,
yeah.
Subway comedy shows.
But you guys know, you know, people think as you get a bigger gig, it's going to be nerve-wracking. You're going to be biting your nails when you have like a big arena that you do. That's like wiffle ball. Like the hard gigs are these little VFW beef and beer things
they don't see.
Take your life in your hand.
And they make you stronger too. Like I couldn't believe and I'm not tooting your horn or anything, but when you performed at the Trop on Monday, because I haven't stopped performing in casinos. Shout out to AC Jokes. They've been giving me every Monday night.
Yeah.
Seeing how polished you are right now is because you have a weekly show. In these circumstances, you're so quick on your feet. I mean, think about it. Wind blowing the venue down. You hear rain sometimes from the outside. How about when people like pull away with their cars?
That's what I was just going to say.
It flashes into the tent. And she's like, oh, that's not a spotlight.
It looks like the last chopper out of Nam is leaving. And you're like, you ever notice? like a motorcycle revs up.
There was a comic. I forget which comic said it to me, but he was leaving as I was walking in one night. I was like, how's the crowd tonight? He's like, oh man, this show is such a train wreck. And there was literally a train driving by. I was like, yeah, it's hysterical.
Well, I'm trying to, as best I can, because I've taught, you know, Stockton has me do like a one-off class here and there for stuff. Then I taught at We Spare and Ryan, the casting agency. I taught a comedy class. So I teach when I have the opportunity. So I try and help the young comics because they bail when people don't listen. And I like, you got to stay up there. Like, you got to battle. Like, you got to do battle and get funny. And any kind of situation, just, you know, it's not the crowd. It's never the crowd. It's always you. It's never them. It's always you. Like, you just got to cook them.
So me and Mike talked about your venue very early on in one of our episodes, maybe episode 2 or 3. But we were saying how you were the first venue during the shutdown that we had an opportunity to get back up. For like generally what we do is we go on stage night after night, sometimes more than one time.
Oh, when you live in New York, those guys doing 4 or 5 sets.
You want to get polished, and I know I was on a routine, and then for 5 months there was nowhere to do stand up. So your venue was the first time that we got up.
That I had actually got up, and you could tell how terrible my set was. So that it was my first time.
He's being modest.
Michelle, he goes before me and says, I got to work out all this new material. My approach, I told him before he went up there, he's a crowd work comic. I'm like, Mike, do what you do. Don't try working out jokes. Look at these people. They're sitting on park.
They're animals. They're animals. They're eating wings. They're just no.
So he goes up there and he said this. He struggled a little bit.
I struggled because I tried to get these jokes. He went up and did crowd work.
I started talking about the buffalo sauce on the floor on the cement. How and that's been my approach to shows like this is just being in the moment.
And you meet other comics, whatever. You meet, customers. You meet potential. You can maybe get a birthday party out of it every once in a while. I roasted somebody on Father's Day from it. They were bringing their dad there for Father's Day. So they said, come roast my dad. So the poor guy's trying to eat his breakfast pizza. And I'm like, hey, Bill, this is your life. And he's like, no, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
And I love what
then he was like, I should have aborted these kids a long time ago.
Worst gift ever. Is it too late to get a sweater?
No, I loved what she said. She was thinking like a true professional, even in these circumstances. The one night I did a spot real quick for her after coming from my day job, and she goes, "Where you going?" I said, "I got to get out of here." She's like, "Your work's not done," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "This is the part of the night where you get something out of it. You got to talk to people. You got to give out your information, your social media." Yeah. She's like, this is when you get the most connections. Remember saying that, Michelle?
Yeah, no, of course. I have my cards like back here. I'm the one. I gave my card to a comedian one time. He said, that's the fastest draw I've ever seen. Like, I just went back to hi, Michelle, I'm the host. And I just he's like, I've never seen a business card come out so fast. Like, I'm just like Vistaprint. Vistaprint is like the best thing. If you've ordered from Vistaprint before, and you I'm just going to get 500 business cards real quick. But then they're like, well, for $1.25 more, you can get 1,000. Like, okay, I'll get 1,000. But then they're like, for $4 more, you can have, by the time you're done, I had 5,000 business cards. literally, because it's like, well, that's dumb. For another couple bucks, I could double my order. And so I've got 5,000 business cards with the front and back colored and everything.
We should do that for my jokes. Like when one joke sucks, well, for another $1, I'll try again.
That's a good bit.
I'll give you $1.
That's good. Yeah. Satisfied with this joke? For $4.99, you can double up to one that has content.
that might work.
So I'm curious, how did you end up? You're from Ohio originally.
Yes.
How'd you end up in the AC area?
How does anybody end up in New Jersey? I met a girl.
Nice.
So
you met her in Ohio?
I did. I was friend my friend Dave. His sister came to visit in Cleveland. I was bartending.
Wow. Took his sister.
Yeah. So we started to
American way.
Started to date, and then we moved to New York. We lived on Long Island because she worked at NYU Medical Center. So we moved. She got a job at NYU Medical Center. So we lived in New York, but I didn't really I didn't have much success in New York then. Like, we moved out in Long Island. We rescued a bunch of dogs, how lesbians do. And then we, I started selling real estate, and I was the nanny to all these dogs.
When you met her?
So I had dabbled in it and was always funny, but I wanted to be an actor. I was a theater major. I have my BFA, and I thought I was gonna go all. I got this apprenticeship at the Actors Theater of Louisville, which is a prestigious thing. That's thousands of people, and I got into that, so I thought I would take off, but I just didn't gel over there. So it takes a while to find your voice.
Right.
Especially if I'm in the Midwest and I'm gay, and I'm you can't, it's hard to find your voice. I'm in Catholic school, I'm gay, I'm in the Midwest, everybody's my whole family's Catholic. It's just weird and
just feel opposite
white, and they just don't. You're kind of trying to have your feet in both worlds. I think. So
you fell in love with the East Coast, I'm assuming.
It's certainly, I would suspect, easier to be gay on the East Coast or the West Coast.
Gotcha.
So it took me a while to find my voice. So I'm kind of a late bloomer.
Oh.
I was when I started doing stand up, I never really bombed because I had some theater training and I knew how to do the timing and the bump, but I was doing dumb.
Were you always a stand-up fan?
I was, because I just have never been a sleeper. I never could sleep even when I was a little kid, and my dad would let me stay up. So we watched Johnny Carson. I mean, I'm in the 3rd grade watching, even like 6 years old, up watching Benny Hill.
Oh,
and
so
the
you're
Tonight
old school.
Show.
Who's your top 5? Like, who you put in your Mount Rushmore of comedians?
From back in the day?
Yeah, everything. Like
the main ones: George Carlin, Richard Pryor.
So edgy comedy. I told you she's one of us.
Yeah.
I knew it since you said lesbians.
I mean, you gotta love Joan Rivers for what she was able to accomplish.
Joan Rivers was a beast. I had never.
Louis Black,
But
Seinfeld,
you're-
probably Louis. I don't know if I put Louis Black in. I like Louis Black just because I like when he starts yelling for no reason. Like I like that a lot, but I don't know if I put him in the top
I'm a
5.
big Rodney Dangerfield guy.
Okay.
Yes. I like Dice. I think comedy should make you feel uncomfortable at times.
Well,
I think sometimes you got to cringe. It's what we do.
You have to have people not like you. Like when people are on my Tom Comedy page, and I don't know if I put some political meme they don't like or whatever.
Gotcha.
I mean, I put funny. Just if I see a funny meme, I don't care if it's right, left, whatever. I just put it up. I think it's funny. But some people go, "You're just not funny," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm doing my job." You know, you can't have everybody like you.
Out of somebody.
You can't have everybody like you. You can't have everybody like you.
I don't think I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know who else you could name that everybody likes other than Dolly Parton and Betty White. Probably nobody's like, I hate that Betty White. But can you think of anybody else that has a universal appeal?
Nope.
Like nobody. Dolly Parton. Like you'd go to lunch with Dolly Parton. You'd be excited to go to lunch with Dolly Parton, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
she's
her titties were amazing. I'll be there
she's
for
cool.
the
Oh my gosh, she's 80. Listen to Mike.
leave it to Mike, going right into the
Leave
tits.
it to Mike.
I knew you two had something in common.
But I mean, yeah, it would be. I don't know if I'd know what color her eyes were at the end of her eyes.
There we go.
Even
Somebody
at
being
even
real.
at this age, Michelle. Even at this age, she's blessed.
She's got eyes.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
it's hysterical.
but I don't know anybody else so I just decided like I'm not going to go for that.
You can't. Bill Cosby was first. They got him later. They got.
He probably was beloved
and
until
then they got him later.
I was going to
Somebody's
say
gonna
who's universally likable. Jimmy Fallon was good, and then they this summer they reposted a sketch he did imitating Chris Rock, and then they tried to cancel him. So it's like no one's safe anymore.
No.
Look at Ellen. Ellen was like everybody loved Ellen,
But not at first.
And now they're yeah.
She had a problem with her coming out being gay because they didn't know at first. Then she had issues with that.
I
Sure.
get that, but Ellen had a 10-year, I would say a decade era where she was known to be. How can you not like Ellen, right?
I don't know what happens in that talk show world, and you know, it may be when you get so big. I mean, there's people that don't like Donald Trump because they could tell you something back in the day from Atlantic City, like, oh, he walked by me on the casino and I said hi and he didn't stop or whatever, and then they hate him and didn't vote for him for president or whatever. You know what I mean? This is like anything can happen with everything being recorded. You know, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. If I pop and get famous, I'm gonna be in some trouble because you could go back. Somebody on their phone has something that I said at some bar show taken way out of context.
Absolutely. And that's what we were talking about with this platform. It's like we know of comics that people can edit one soundbite you said. Yeah. Not talking about what you said 5 minutes ago or what you did in the previous episode. They can blow it out of proportion, and you can be judged by that one thing you say.
It's always happened in the newspaper, but you could always say I was misquoted. But now they hold up the video because I remember interviewing a casino executive when I was working at Casino Connection, and they had kids. Very simple. They had kids in for a lunch. They talked to people in marketing. They talked to people on the, it was like jobs and, career day thing. They made a lunch. So they sent us the press release. So I go, I'm like, yeah, I'll have a free sandwich. Why not? So I go over, to the casino. I'm trying to get a quote from the executive who put it on. And he said, if I can just touch one of these children, it'll be all worth it. And I'm laughing to myself. Christ. And I'm like, I could, I could mess with this guy like a little bit. So I send it to the PR. I'm like, I just want to run these quotes by you because he's my friend, the PR guy. So I'm like, I just want to run these quotes by you.
Did he catch it?
And he's like, oh my God, don't you dare. And, we were just laughing about it. But, you could take that out of context and I can write if I had a scandal magazine, I could write that make it look like that guy staged this whole thing
Absolutely.
so that he could have short eyes, and I could wreck him. Like if I had an independent magazine and I can't go, well, he said it. Here's my recording. I recorded him saying it. He said it.
I'm one of these people that scares the shit out of me.
Sure.
I mean, I piss them off from the beginning.
No.
If they're going to get mad anyway, I want to do it because I did it on purpose.
Well, I'm saying, like Brian, our producer, Brian is Michelle, by the way.
I was a little late with it.
We're Facebook friends.
So Brian, he does the edits for this and stuff like that. And one episode we're talking about hiring somebody to control. We want to create an Instagram page for the show. We want to create a Twitter. We want to get on TikTok. We don't know how to boost that and get it out there to people and draw a following and fans. He says in the episode, you want to hire a young girl. And he's like, because they're always on their phone. And I'm like, stop saying young girl. Stop saying young girl. We're in our mid-30s. Because that's how I'm thinking.
Millennial.
So
you
that
gotta hire.
ruins everything. Now young girls can't get a job because somebody said something.
Yeah.
Come on, like, it doesn't matter. If you can say everything right, they will find something. You gotta understand. There's certain people that look for it.
It's crazy.
They look for it. So you can, and they're not going to do it to us. So we got 88 subscribers. We're trying to get bigger, but we're not big enough.
89. 89.
That's right.
Tens of people. Yeah.
My great grandmother, before she passed,
Michelle,
subscribed, and then we got 89 now. So, but I would like to just welcome that. Welcome that. Whatever they say. I could be nobody, and somebody could say that I said something horrible, but now I'm somebody. So whatever you get, take it. You know what I mean? We're stand-up comics. You can't take any professional advice from us like we're an educated. You don't learn anything from us. You laugh from us. This is what we do.
Yeah, we're not meant to be motivational speakers unless you're Steve Harvey. I mean.
No, that's been happening forever. I mean, there was a lot of pressure on the Major League Baseball to not chew tobacco because it's a bad example for kids. And then it was years ago, they started chewing bubble gum and stuff. And I always thought, like, it's not this third baseman from Seattle that's in charge of teaching your kid not to smoke. But it's we do it like the celebrities are like, oh, they did this, they did that, like every little thing you say.
Like we're on Sesame Street or something. Don't listen to any. All celebrities are weirdos. Yeah. And I want to be one too. So to understand that's what they are, you don't take any advice from a celebrity.
No, I mean, especially you should. It's just I don't know how it became to be that way. I remember doing something. I had a rehearsal in a high school or something like that, and it was like for Tony and Tina's wedding thing or something. And there were signs all over the place. No peanuts allowed in the gym or something. So probably one kid in the high school has a peanut allergy. And then the whole school, like, you can't have a peanut anywhere near there. And it's like, it's not. It's little Timmy's job to not eat any peanuts. Like, it's your job. He's got to
deal with it. He was saying that. He was saying that last week.
Timmy's the problem, not the peanuts.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to take his own personal responsibility for not eating. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm showing my age, I guess, but it's like, what? Like, I can't even believe, like, all over the gym. No peanuts are allowed in this gym.
Do you do? Is this in Ohio that happened?
No, I had to schlep up to like New York or North Jersey or something for rehearsal. I can't even remember what I was doing.
Do you do a
lot
lot of comedy work in Ohio?
I did not do. I had the occasional little kind of VFW thing. I did open. I started to go to open mics right when I got out of college. I went to Kent State. I started doing the open mics
in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then I don't know. I was young. You start. I'm 20 something, and I don't know. I just started bartending and wanted to pay bills. And, I'll say it's an audition at for the Funny Bone chain last year in Dayton. Okay.
And I went out there to the Dayton Funny Bone. I don't know if you've ever seen the room.
Not Dayton's.
It's gorgeous. It's like a theater. And it was me and another guy showcased for the girl that books all the Funny Bones around the country. And I went up, and in the beginning I hit, but then I did like my South Philly shit. And this is a great question for you. They were just staring at me. They're like, what is he?
What
like,
is an
they
Italian?
They couldn't
What is
figure
this?
me out. And I left that. I went in the green room. It was a great experience. And the lady, she says, you do realize I can't pass you for all the funny bones. She says, I see why you were recommended by our Albany room in the Northeast and how you could do so well on the East Coast. Like, I think you're a great fit for Syracuse. I think you would do great at the Tampa Improv. Anywhere on the East Coast, Virginia. She's like, but to throw you up in Liberty, Ohio, or Mississippi, or Kansas City, she's like, you need some more universal jokes. And I didn't take any criticism. I took it. I didn't get offended. But I'm curious, like, now that you know me, do you think it's like an East Coast, is it me, or is it that maybe my act's too regional?
I just want to note, he said this was a great experience in comedy to get told that you're not getting a job. Like, that's how comedy works. Those are the best compliments you're going to get if you're looking to be a comic.
World.
Well, I'm saying, as an Ohio person, like,
So a lot of people in the Midwest don't know anything about subways or kind of big city life, you know. So that's true. I am gonna struggle when I talk, like, you go up and you talk about your wife and kids, you're fine. That's just standard universal comedy. If I talk about my wife and kids, that is now political. That is like, a whole bag of things. Terrible guy, kind of hack comedian, but he does somehow pack them in another town near us. But I thought I was auditioning for him. I guess I was just performing at his open mic. To me, he kind of phrased it like I was auditioning to get paid gigs from him. But he said, if you do any gay stuff, I'm turning your mic off.
Wow.
Then
no way.
He proceeded.
This is in Ohio?
This is here.
This is here.
This is here. I mean, I don't want to give too much
away.
away.
Blame everything on Ohio now. This is here.
Yeah, the town begins with a V. If that helps anybody. And then he's like a hack, like an old. He does jokes about like Vietnam and stuff. It's crazy. But he proceeded to, when he did his opening, he did this thing about his wife, interior designer, and was making all these like gay jokes, like these, like, there's like a white straight guy up there making like disparaging jokes about gay people. Then he said he like turned my mic off. But I mean, so it's, it's weird. I mean, I went on a show in New York where other comics critique you, and they were saying like my stuff was like dated, like my gay material and stuff. They were saying it's dated, and gay people. Well, one guy was like, gay people have a bunch of rights now, like enough already with this. And I'm like, oh, go do like a freaking VFW.
You're saying,
go do a VFW. My life is in my hands when I do my gay jokes. Like, I'm taking my life in my hands.
Yeah. So you're saying it depends on the audience, pretty much.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Ohio Funny Bone is homophobic or anything. I'm just saying I don't think they have a frame of reference. They're having trouble with that right at the Borgata.
Right,
that people are
like,
walking out of the Borgata.
What do our people like?
That booker at Borgata is booking all of his New York comics.
And they struggle.
They all come down.
They're the great comedians.
But they talk about being 20 and, screwing their girlfriend. They talk about bodily fluids. They talk about the subway. They talk about cheesesteaks.
Not everybody.
No,
not everybody.
These
but
people,
a good amount of them.
But these 80-year-old people in for the weekend, staying Sunday through Thursday, getting their comp tickets to the Borgata. They don't have a frame of reference to understand that. That's all I'm saying.
But Michelle, I blame that on the booker. I don't blame it on the comedian.
No, I'm not blaming the comedian.
Know who you're hiring. Same thing with that opportunity. Going back to what the question I was asking you about going out to Ohio and doing my act. I learned in that situation because she passed me at all the East Coast clubs.
Yes.
She just didn't give me the whole database of the funny bones and improvs. And she gave me, so she said, if you get when we give you an opportunity again, so the opportunity is not dead. She wants to pass me.
Yeah.
And all the clubs. She said, just start writing about more universal things.
Yeah.
But
right, because in Dayton, they don't know about jug handles. They don't know about all of that.
I have a 3-minute bit about bottle service.
Yeah. Yes.
When I went into that, they were just like,
we're steel workers. We like want pierogies. And I'm not...
What's a
drink out of
pierogi?
jars.
Ohio's
Just
great,
jars.
and I'm from Cleveland. Go Browns, and they're awesome people, but it is that blue collar, give you the shirt off your back. I mean, there's this saying like if somebody says something nice to you in New York, it like kind of on the street, it messes with your head like a little bit. And if somebody says something mean to you on the street in Ohio, it messes with your head and it ruins like your whole day. Like, it's hi, how you doing? When you get to a toll booth, like when you're driving out of New York, because I lived in New York, so you get through all the tolls. And then when you finally hit 80 Turnpike to grab the ticket, you feel all the tension just like release out of your shoulders, and they're just like, "Hi, what are you doing? You traveling?" And then, like, "Hey, how's it going?" and whatever, and you just, okay. I'm like, you just relax a little bit.
Safe here now.
If I get a ticket, it's only going to be $60 instead of a court appearance, 3 points, and $375.
Do you think?
You
do you think you already had thick skin when you came to Jersey, or
no?
Not this kind of skin.
Well, because I'm a Catholic schoolgirl. I'm very
Catholic
bad at
too.
I'm very bad at
but you're
direct
Italian.
confrontation. Yeah,
she's Italian.
that's like double. No, I'm Russian and German. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I have Italian friends.
Okay.
Why
Listen,
did they recruit you? You see that? They try to recruit Italians.
Listen,
No,
I
you're
know
Italian.
people though. I know a guy. Don't mess with me.
Well, I thought
Still don't mess with-
Tomko's an Italian.
I think it was like Tomashenko or something like that when
okay.
they came over on the boat. It was some
Why do
kinda-
we always come over in boats?
I don't know.
It's just that still hasn't changed.
Because they ran out of land. You got to get here. What?
You thought I was Italian because of my outfit.
Yeah, she's
Because
all South Phillied out.
I
She said
tried
she
to
wore the
dress
sweats.
South Philly for Steve. I gotta show. Wait, let me show the camera. Are you getting this? I wore my Steve Rinaldi sweats. I got like some blingy Pumas.
I don't wear sneakers like that.
Black people aren't the only ones with the blingy. The Italians do it
like,
too.
what do I have that looks like what Steve
No,
wears
but
to my
when
tent show?
when I show up for comedy shows, I'm either one extreme or the other. I'm either like business professional suits or I'm sweatpants with a fitted hat.
He either
It's
looks like
insane.
he owns the place or he's begging for money. It's
Yes,
two.
exactly. It's one or the other.
It's one or the
Or
other.
I'm going to rob you guys. That's,
He looks either like he owns the tent or lives in the tent. There's no in between. There's nothing in between that he has. No, so
the best was the one time I showed up for your show. I went to check in with you. You're like, "Hi, you could have a seat at the bar." I'm like, "Michelle, it's me." I took my hat off. You were like,
yeah.
you didn't know it was
I never
me.
saw you were not in a suit.
That was hysterical.
Did you get fired? Is that what happened? You need a drink?
but I
do
just-
some plugs. Shout out some your websites and the show you
Right.
do on Wednesday.
Right. So the Wednesday
Just
show.
in case we forget, because
The
we're not
Wednesday
organized.
show is from 8 to 11 every Wednesday. You get $4 shots of like Jameson and stuff. We do $4 JMO, and so you just come get drunk, and then wings are 50 cents when you get hungry. And the tent is, within all the confines of the rules. We all have our
Where's it
masks
located?
on, and it is at 5 North Shore Road in Absecon. So that's the big weekly night. So all talent's welcome. I've had an accordion player. I've had some
Wow.
poets. I've had a girl was my girl Tina was juggling and doing hula hoops and stuff.
Wow.
Can
So
you get a stripper in there? I'll show up.
I wish. Yeah, let's get a stripper in there.
You know you made it in show business when you're doing a tent in Absecon.
Yeah. I wipe down the mic and everything after every performer, like the pole and stuff, like a stripper does. Like I feel like a stripper. Like I do like the mic stand. I wipe it down. Like how when the strippers come on, they're all like sexy. They come up the steps and they're walking across the stage, and then they grab like a Windex bottle and they clean the pole. Like that's me. So just like next to the stage, Ember, you're on deck. And next,
I told you
Tiffany.
you guys would become best friends. Now she's talking about strip clubs. She knows what goes on
I
there.
bartended in a strip club when I was a young gal in
what I'm saying?
Cleveland, Ohio. It was called Tiffany's.
I like lesbian people, by the way. Lesbian girls teach you how to talk to
Lesbian
girls.
people.
I learned how to talk to girls, learning from them. They know all the right things to say. I started because I remember I was talking to this one girl and I thought it was going good. I went to go get a drink and this another girl took her and they were gone already. She already was to sex. I was only at the step of buying drinks. So I said, I'm going to take a class from lesbians. I paid. And she taught me how to talk to women. They're the best. They know everything to say right. You can't learn from your friends. Guys,
I'm in
guys take you down
the
wrong
inner
place every
circle. Like I'm in the inner
They
circle.
know what to say. They have the inside track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like over the years, did you ever have to be a straight man's wingman? You probably kill it.
I would be the best wingman ever.
You understand? You see that?
I would be the best wingman ever. I always tell my friends, like, I'll wingman for you because I'll go up to anybody. I just, I go to the bar with you, Steven. You just point them out, and I'd be like, okay, go.
I'm coming with you. I need a side chick. I'm
Okay.
coming to you.
I thought you had a fiance.
I said a side chick. That's different.
Oh, it's like, okay.
You obviously haven't been watching the show.
Okay. I thought, what's going on?
He says,
My girlfriend's albino,
God.
and she doesn't have any side vision. So I can get a side chick right there, and it works out. That was part of the preference.
Okay.
It takes things in love sometimes. Sometimes you need other things to love to keep you going. So I'm a hard yes.
Wow.
Side
I got to take a class from you to figure out how to get away with that because I never had a girl have me get away with that.
Do you guys have the same problems? Do they are whenever you're with your girl, does she see you, looking at other, and she sees you first before you see it? Like they're looking and enjoying it.
I've had girlfriends that somebody comes up to hug you and they're just, you can feel like they're watching how long they're timing the hug, and like they have a set timer in their head. And when they feel that hug has gone on like a minute too long, like, they're not a minute, like a millisecond too long. They're like, I don't know why Bill has to hug you like that. Like on the way home, you're getting all in trouble.
What are you talking about? Bill doesn't even have anything I like. What is the problem?
Listen, I've had girlfriends that are just jealous of men, women, dogs. Why are you petting that dog so long? Like, people just get jealous.
There's nothing you can do. You're going to get in trouble.
Not now. I have a good girl now. She is like, just don't forget where you live. Like
that's what I got.
See, shouting out the lady.
I'm telling
giving respect. Not talking about side chicks. Mike, it can work.
This is how me and my girl understand. My girl told me, she says she knows, listen, you're not coming to me for this every night. I have a job. Go somewhere else and get it. But don't bring me home no kids. And don't bring me home no diseases, all right?
See, I'm not gonna make any babies. So
she has the upside.
That's an upside
track.
To that.
Look at that.
I have 2 rules that I was told when we first started to go out 8 years ago. She said, don't forget where you live. And if anyone in your party can't drive their vehicle, you call me and I'll come get them. Like a mom. Like, remember the contract you signed in high school? Like, that's what she's like, I'll come get you guys. That was like the only thing.
Look at that. See that? Yeah. That's love.
No, I just go like,
love is.
I'll go, like, I'm going to go play cards and I don't know how I'm going to be, blah, blah, blah. Like my ex plays poker. Like we go out, play cards or whatever.
That's awesome.
And my phone never goes up. There's none of that, like, just checking in. I don't get any of that.
Everybody shut up. My wife's calling.
The phone never goes. Never goes.
That's real trust. That's real love.
No, she's just really smart because I'll tell you, like, I've had it. I need a break. I'm going to play cards. I don't know how long I'm going to be. I'll be back when I'm back. And she's
this is you?
This is Jean. And she goes, okay, have a good time. And then my phone doesn't go off. She just completely just lets me go. And then, 9:30 p.m. I'm like walking in the door. I'm like, well, I was up $200. I figured I'd just come home. We could watch a movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's no fun to even want to stay out late.
It's no fun. She doesn't get mad.
No.
You can't do nothing.
No, you can't do it. She doesn't argue. She doesn't fess with real easy.
I'm going to tell you about that kind of woman right there. You argue with her and leave, and then she doesn't call you. In your mind, you're like, shit, is she going to call somebody else then?
It's game. It's game.
It's game. That's old school right
I
there.
have come home and she's like, while you were gone, I did this laundry. Like, I'll come home and like my drawers will be reorganized. Like, I'm out drinking with you. and I come home and my drawers are organized and stuff. So it's
and now you feel like an ass for all the shit you said before you left.
I do the same. Like, she's working from home, so I bring her like
does your lady support you at the tent show on Wednesdays?
She has not been going to the tent because she's essential personnel. So she's been staying. She has not been going out.
That's responsible.
So, but she, in the summer, she was going when we could really, the sides of the tent were open and you were really just outside.
I love the heckler.
I don't like how
but once it got shut in,
it's a classy tent. It is a really nice, high quality tent.
It's expensive.
It's high, weatherproof and everything.
Brian, can we podcast from the tent one night? Can we do
it's possible.
A live feed from the tent?
That would be great.
No, you know the kind of hecklers you get at outside shows
and bars. I like. How do you feel about hecklers? I love hecklers.
Yeah, I mean, I try to engage with them as best I can. I mean, I remember. I mean, I've waved off like the host. I was at the club on New York Avenue a couple years ago, and it just I could see they were going to take the guy out, and I waved him off. No, let's try to stay and just talk to him.
Yeah, and it's a difference if they're drunk and they're not paying attention, and it's just that's a different kind of heckle. But if it's just a person that tries to hit you, it's your job to hit them back. Like, you're the comic.
If you get a nice, good. You got to just be quick on your feet with the crowd work, and you got to just get them and get the crowd on your side.
Yeah. At this point, the only time I feel disrespected is there's two heckles I just can't accept. One's by the staff, and the other ones, again, I'm Italian South Philly, is family support. Like when all my cousins, aunt and uncles come, and they're like, "Oh, we're all coming to show." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like scared to death. I'm like, "No, don't come. Don't sit up front."
The staff.
Have you had that happen ever?
Like a
or
waiter,
am I the only one?
Like a waiter just yells, "You suck."
Not a "you suck," but like you did that last week.
No, that is inappropriate.
Exposing
That's
me.
great.
That's not right.
You should get them back. They're staff.
You're supposed to do it the week before.
You know what
That's your act.
You know what I said in the beginning about tipping your wait staff? Fuck that. Give it to me. That's what I usually say.
Let me ask you fellas this, because you just said, like, my girlfriend didn't understand when I first started. She's like, "You did those jokes last week." I'm like, "You can't. You
write a joke."
You go to a concert to hear the songs that that they do. They go, like it's
people don't understand comedy. They really think we write new jokes an hour every Tuesday, and we're gonna go up here. Right? That's not how it really works, though.
To develop.
Well, I got
this segment.
I got an interesting outlook on that. Years ago, you write because first of all, we have to write every day. That's your job as a comedian. You got to write every day, even if you don't get anything out of it, you should be writing constantly. But most of that's going to be trash. It's not going to work. That's what writers do. But the ones that hit, that adds to your act. I like the Jay Leno theory. It takes 10 years to get an hour, and then you take that hour on the road. That used to be the recipe in the old school 80s and 90s. But now with the internet, you're constantly putting your jokes out there. It changed a little bit. And I like what Jay Leno says about how if you're killing in a certain city, get out of there. Move. That goes back to my audition I had in Ohio. Since that happened, I try to take gigs everywhere. I try to take gigs upstate Pennsylvania. I try to take gigs in tents across the country right now.
You got to dig in, though. You got to, like, when I go somewhere else, like when I have a gig, I look, I Googled the town or whatever, like the one I just did, I don't know, just something up north, but I Googled whatever that little town I was in, and their website homepage says all of this American stuff. It's all this America flag. It's very patriotic, but the colors of the website were lime green and black, like hard to read. Like, who would pick for the city's website? I'm talking about electric green. Like it looks like their homepage looks like I wish I could remember the name of the town, but their homepage looks like maybe you'd sell skateboard decks or something. Wow. But it's their city. And I did like a tight 5 on that. And then the booker, Vince Valentine, is a cool guy. You guys know Vince? Oh,
I know Vince.
Love Vince.
The man. Shout out to Vince. Yeah.
He's like, that was so cool. Like you got in there. Like I knew the town's population. Like I read the Wikipedia page or whatever. Like I'm a little bit ready with the something to get them on my side immediately. That's my little tip to you got to get them on your side immediately. Like if by
the way, I want to get you on our show we do on Tuesdays at the Laughing Fox.
Definitely.
I got to cruise up
and
there.
I see how good you are. I'm not going after you. I'm going to go before you because you're good.
Why don't you come out next week?
On this Tuesday?
It would be a Tuesday night show. It's about 50 minutes from here. It's in Magnolia, Laughing Fox Tavern.
Great crowd.
Great crowd. Social distance crowd.
They like gay jokes, everything.
All right.
Because I put them out there. I'm not gay.
And what's the tent like up there?
It's not a tent.
I know.
It's a basement, but it's not a tent.
That's good.
It's COVID-friendly basement.
That sounds slightly rapey to me. I don't... There's certain that's like a red flag. If you're a woman, that's a red flag gig. That's
we give them an intermission so everybody could go out and take a cocaine and weed break.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking to myself, I already like who's the biggest guy I know that's off on Tuesdays I can ride up there with me. Like, who's my biggest friend?
What do
that
you
I
think
know?
about them legalizing weed and everything's legal now?
I think they should legalize every single thing in Atlantic City proper. I think they should legalize
You know what's crazy to
prostitution.
me? We
weed,
just got weed legalized in Jersey. Sports betting. At what point is you know it's coming, right?
What's coming?
You know it's coming.
I want to know where your head is. What's coming?
Come on. Eventually, prostitution's going to be legal.
Absolutely. They should.
He's so excited.
I'm not
He's
excited
so
about that.
His
I'm
face is turning red.
it's a smirk.
I'm excited about that. I'm not gonna use those
This is a
services.
smirk.
I'm excited to keep women healthy and it be taxable and respectable. And I'm excited to that industry is never going away. And I would like to take the danger out of it. And I'd like to get rid of.
Wow. Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at that
I'm telling you.
serious.
Didn't I tell you about the lesbians?
I'm telling
I love
you.
them. I swear to God, I love them. They're on my side.
And get rid of the pimps that just get to play PlayStation
Yeah.
all day and then go, where's my money? Like, I want them out. I just want everything to be legal in Atlantic. I mean, you just legalize Atlantic City.
It's Atlantic
Make
City.
it Sin City.
You know what
little
you're doing when
playground.
you're going there.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be dirty. You do all kind of nasty
That's
stuff.
such
You get
a
a tetanus
great-
shot when you get out, and you go back to regular life. That's
That's
what
such a
it's about.
crazy perspective. I didn't expect you to say
My
that.
point is that I don't do heroin because I have heard that it's bad for me. I don't not do it because it's illegal. Like, if I wanted to do it, we all have access to it very easily.
I like how she added the rest of us in it real quick when she
We-
said,
No,
if I
you're-
decided, we all could just do it.
In this area, you live in Philly. I was 2 phone calls away from talking to a guy. I did my fellowship project. I interviewed people in Atlantic City last year. Okay, it was called Yo 11. I interviewed 11 people. I was 2 phone calls. I'm a little Catholic schoolgirl from Cleveland, or Bedford Heights, Ohio. I was 2 phone calls away from meeting a guy at a tenement house who just got out of prison for beating to death his mom's abuser.
Wow.
He just did 20 for that. And he was in my car. We were walking on the boardwalk. He's telling me his story. He was one of the characters in my show, but I was 2 phone calls away. And I mean, I am like, if you're just listening to this, I am the liliest white person ever, and to just be 2 phone calls away from that. So, like, you can get it. So I don't think that the legalities of drugs or anything is stopping anybody
No,
from doing it.
People that do it or dabber into these things, they're going to do it regardless. I get the point.
And
you're
guess
trying
what?
to
I think
make.
if it's legal, people would do less of it. It's not as fun for kids.
not
Like,
as
there's
fun,
nothing
yeah.
you're not sneaking around behind your
It
parents.
was exciting.
back
Yeah.
to
Is
do
it
this
like
stuff.
us with stand up? If it was easier to break in, we probably wouldn't be
Yeah,
working as hard.
it is so
We like
hard.
disappointment. That's what they're trying to that's
Everybody
the
I
moral of
talked to
this.
said it's like the hardest. It's the hardest thing. Like, I had my friend's a literary agent. She said you picked the hardest thing because she was doing a book with Joy Behar, and she was helping Joy Behar like before Joy Behar popped. And she said you just picked the hardest thing. Like this, you're telling me the same exact stories that she told me. It's ridiculous. And a lot of people, like, the people don't know that they go up to New York, they pay $30 to get into the club, they pay $11 for their Heineken, and all the comics that they love, half of them aren't even getting paid.
Nothing.
That's
They have no idea.
People
though.
don't
They
know.
don't know that.
that's the shady part about the industry, but it's part of the game. We know that now. We know that. Like to break into clubs, part of it's hanging out. We were talking before we started
Yeah.
filming tonight. Like you got to be there. You got to be in their face.
Oh yeah.
And then when they give you an opportunity to get up there and do your thing, you got to be prepared. It's all preparation.
You got to be ready. But
But
that's
part of it is giving the business a play, spending money,
do
getting
have
people
to
to come out
right.
to support the venue, and then when you get that opportunity, your act's polished, you knock it out of the park. You
True.
know?
No, yeah, exactly. And it's just a grind, and there's so many people trying to do it. There's so many.
Yeah.
You white guys are ruining it for everybody. 'Cause all the white guys in high school.
tell them about
Listen,
the white guys. 'Cause
all
Black
the white
lives matter.
guys in high
Lesbians'
school,
lives
all
matter
the
too.
cute, like Steve right here, all the cute white guys in high school, like when the girls liked you and wanted to go out with you, they like rubbed your arm and went, "Hi, you're so funny. You should be on Saturday Night Live," because they just wanted
Told
you to ask
thought
them
it was
out.
just me.
And then all those
Michelle,
white guys are
I
like,
was-
you know what? I camp funny enough to be on Saturday Night Live. And you're all out there trying to do comedy. And here's us little lesbians and us little brown people who don't get cast in anything because there's no parts for us. So
see?
we're trying
Little
to do
brown
it.
people.
And
Little
we're
brown
like,
people, she's
get
right.
out, and
That's
like,
right.
get out of here. Get out of our way, white people.
I
like,
know.
You know,
we
go
can't get them out the way, so we got to make friends with them and do podcasts and shit.
This is how we're gonna end this episode. Michelle, after
This is how my career's going to end when they take the soundbite out of context. I'm going to get to host the Tonight Show guest host. And like, no, because in 2021, you did this podcast. And you said little brown people.
ball-breaking
And now you'll
people.
never work again. So
after the episode, I'm showing you a picture of me in high school. It'll all make sense. I was an out of shape little Italian guy that ate pasta every night, braces,
I'm shocked.
played center in football,
Oh.
no athletic abilities,
So
very insecure,
Steve,
ugly duckling.
Steve, I don't feel bad for you. Okay,
No.
let me tell you why
He
I don't
doesn't
feel
know
bad
he's
for you.
cute though. He doesn't
I don't
know.
feel
He
bad
doesn't know
for
he's
you
handsome.
because you were fat or whatever before. You got better. I've been like this since the 3rd grade. Like this shit didn't change for me. Okay, I want to hear your sad story. I want to hear it.
Brian's
Guys.
cute too back there. He's not on camera, but he's cute. Too.
That's
Yeah,
our
cute
episode.
guys here.
Thank you to Michelle Tomko. Where can they follow you?
Follow me at
Appreciate
Tom
it.
Comedy, TOMKOMEDY, and MichelleTomko.com.
You got a website?
MichelleTomko.com.
MichelleTomko.com. And we're on every platform, right? Brian, can you shout out our platforms?
Yeah,
I
we're
can
on
see
Apple
Bob-
Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, YouTube, and Facebook.
Subscribe, like, comment. Ball breaking with Mike and Steve. We do this every Thursday. Michelle, thank you so much. I hope you come back.
Thank you. The
Yes.
first guest. I'm so excited. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Have
Don't
a
forget
good-
about the
have a good
Laughing
one.
Fox Tuesday nights.
Laughing Fox Tuesday night.
Magnolia.
That's
Tuesday
right.
nights live comedy show. We're gonna have Michelle in there. Thank
Yeah,
you. Guys.
follow us. Follow and like everybody.
Follow,
you.
like,
Thank
and
you.
subscribe. Appreciate it.
Thank you.